Session number 4, the first principle in the science of getting rich. In understanding the first principle in the science of getting rich, please understand that you are spiritually made in the image and likeness of God. That means that you have the same faculty that the mind of God has. Now, what is that faculty? That faculty is you have the ability to think independent of circumstances. You can right now think independent of anything that has ever happened to you, any worry, doubt, or fear, any circumstance that you think your life may be bogged down in. You can begin to think right now about the possibility of freedom, the possibility of success, the possibility of well-being, the energy of intelligence and love all around you. Even if your circumstance is negative, you have the faculty of God. You can think independent of circumstances and watch your life begin to change. Now, as you develop the power and the commitment to think this way, regardless of the appearances in front of you, you will unleash a power within you that can move mountains and change the course of human history. It all starts with our thought. Let me give you an example of this. A number of years ago, in my spiritual community, we had to move from one building to another building, and we were temporarily using hotel rooms to have services. We were in the process of leasing a building, refurbishing it, keeping staff, using the hotel rooms on the weekends, and we were quickly running out of money. All looked very, very bleak because on paper, it did not look like we had enough money to complete the project in time. I called a meeting of my board of trustees, the contractor who was doing the build-outs in the building that we were now moving in, and I said, is it possible for us to complete this? They said, it doesn't look like it. We don't have the money. We don't have the time. And I put a chair up against the door and I had a board member sit in it. I said, no one is leaving this room until I get an agreement. And I went around to each individual and I said, is it possible what we're trying to do? I didn't ask you how we would do it. I didn't ask you if it was probable. I asked you if it was possible. And we did not leave the room until every single individual said, it's possible. And I said, all I need you to do is hold the feeling tone of the possibility. Don't ask how it's going to be done. Just hold the feeling tone of its possibility. And then we went on about our business. That very same week, within 3 days, a bank that we had submitted some loan documents to had the documents. The owner of the bank was looking over the shoulder of the person with our particular file. He asked the man, what are you doing? The man said, I'm working on this loan document from the Agape International Spiritual Community. The owner said, is that Beckwith? They said, yes. So give them the money. He said, sir, but we haven't done our due diligence. They don't have any collateral. He said, give them the money. So within 3 days, we had the money to complete the build-out. The contractor came to my office and said, I was so moved by that meeting, I've decided to pay the workers out of my own money and to put on a crew so that we can work 24 hours a day to get this job finished. So within 3 days, we had the money and we had the crew, and just a few days before, it was impossible. My board changed their way of thinking and allowed possibility to be there. There is a principle. It is the first principle of the science of getting rich. In session number 4, Bob Proctor is going to bring you to it.